Today I wanted to do part 2 of my series called The Secret to Happiness. Part 1 will be linked in the bottom description box, and it will also be linked at the end of this video so that you can see part 1. A lot of people in our world, right, in our country, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in the United States, there is like some sort of a weird, it's a massive amount of depression and anxiety. Now, it could be our diet, it could be our food, it could be social media, it could be all these different things. So how do we combat it? Now, I'm not talking about depression where you can't get out of bed. I'm just talking about a low level of energy. I'm talking about not feeling like your days are on repeat, those kinds of things. And I think that can make you anxious and unhappy and depressed, because God, I don't think, intended us to just float through life. And because of this, I think we're floating. A lot of us are floating through life. And that's going to be in the second part of the video. But let's talk today at the first part of this video of what I think can help you. I think part of it is staying busy. I think that the busier you are, the happier you are. Sometimes we let life take over because we don't plan. Now, I'm not talking about a planner. I'm talking about thinking about your life. Turn off the TV, turn off your phone, like literally turn off your phone. Close your computer, shut your iPad, get a notebook, and sit there in the quiet and think about your life. And think about, what do I want? Why am I unhappy? Why am I floundering a little bit? Why am I on my phone all the time, scrolling? Why am I doing that? What do I find it that fascinating? Do I feel like I have to? What is it? Start writing down some things. Write down what you don't like about your life, what you don't like about your day, and start planning to change it. Start getting busy about doing something, you know? I think we forget, because so many things in our lives are automatic anymore, we forget that we're in control of our life. You know, you control your own life, but you might be wasting precious years. You know, time is short. If I'm going to accomplish anything different than raising kids, you know, I raised my kids, and now I've had this time where I've not really had any big goals or aspirations or anything. I've realized, you know, if you're going to do something, now's the time. You have to plan. You have to write it down. You have to set goals in that notebook that you have. Write what you don't like, and then write some personal goals. Write some, you know, things that you want to do. Dreams that you've had that you think maybe now I can pursue it. Set up some goals, but set them in different time frames, you know. Set a daily goal. From now on, I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do this. Set weekly goals, monthly goals. Set a year goal. Set a year's goal, a 5-year goal. Make a plan, and stay busy going about that plan. I mean, I've been extremely busy with some projects lately, but I could see if I hadn't had those projects, I don't know what I would be doing, and I think I would be depressed. But I think a lot of depression comes from feeling like, I know for me, life was dragging me versus me. My life was running me instead of me running my life. I was a reactor. I had become such a reactor because of things in my life. I was just on reaction mode. Every single day was reacting. I was never in charge. And I hated that feeling. And it was an anxious feeling. It was a depressed feeling when you feel like someone else, other people are running the show and you're just there to respond. It's a terrible feeling, and it's depressing, and it made me anxious. But now I've got so much on my plate, so many things I'm working on right now, that I've got so much stuff on my list today. But one of the things I'm doing right now was to record a YouTube video. But there are so many other big things over there. It's almost making me anxious how big they are. But you know what? It's one step at a time. But literally, when Scott walks in the door now, I haven't come up for air day after day after day. I never sit down and watch TV. I never get to watch YouTube till late at night. I'm just busy. And guess what? I've never been happier. So my point is this. This is something I'm living right now. I'm living a different kind of life than I've had in a long time. And part of it's my book. Part of it's I've got a new blog. I want to redo that website, even though it's brand new. It's clunky. I don't like it. I'm going to redo it, but I'm doing a blog post every week. I'm editing YouTube videos. Filming YouTube takes a lot of time, but it's my passion. It's part of my things that I like to do. You know, it's a hobby for me. It's not a way to make a living. It's a hobby. But my book is not really a hobby. Not that I'm going to make a living from it, but you know, I've already got another book going. I've got to get back to that and start writing on that, you know, but I've got emails to answer. I've got some possibilities of some other things on the horizon that have come up as a result of the book. It's really crazy how things have snowballed into being so busy every day where I fall in bed at night. You know, I'm tired. I'm so tired. So I think being busy on meaningful things that excite you is such an important part of happiness, being happy. So get out a notebook, start jotting things down, turn everything off, figure out what you want to do with your life, and stay busy doing things that excite you and are meaningful to you, and that's it. So now, this part of the video is what I don't mean by staying busy. Hey y'all, I'm going to be real busy today, so I thought that I would just tell you kind of my day, my plan. Now, I don't have one of those planners. I'm not one of those planner people. You know, I don't really have a to-do list ever because I just let my day free flow. You know, that's just how you do it, because then you're just free to do what you want. But I did write a couple things down that I normally do every day, and I think they're so important to keep your mind occupied and busy. So let me share a couple of things with you. Now, one of the first things I do in the morning is I get up and I have my coffee and everything, and I don't bother getting dressed and everything because that's just for YouTube. I mean, I just got out of my robe and it's 12:30 right now. But one of the first things I do after I have my coffee, and of course I got to check the news and see what's going on there with Trump. You know, I got to check on him. And then I get out my TV guide because there are shows that I need to DVR and make sure that they're there for me when I need them. And usually that means, you know, after I have my big lunch, I sit down and I watch shows. One of the shows I'm going to be sure to DVR today is The Real Housewives of Timbuktu. Because, you know, you've got to watch these shows because, number one, you got to know who the popular people are. Number two, you got to look at their hair and their makeup and their clothes because, you know, you got to keep up so you know what's in fashion and what's in style and everything. And then number three, you just never know when they're going to get in a fight or something. And it's just so entertaining. I mean, it's just such a great way to spend the afternoon. And you can learn a lot from those shows. You know, you learn about relationships because these are real shows. You know, The Real Housewives of Timbuktu. You learn about relationships. You learn about how to have a good marriage. Well, usually that doesn't happen. I don't really understand it because they all have everything they need. I mean, they've got the boat, they've got horses in the back, they've got the RV. I don't know what they have to gripe about, but, you know, you can learn a lot about how they waste their time, you know, fighting with their neighbors and everything. And another thing that I DVR every day, actually I don't even DVR this, I just stop my world and watch it. And it's As the World Turns. The reason I watch that is, number one, my grandmother watched it and my mom watched it. So naturally I've got to watch it because I've got to keep up. up. I've got to keep up with these people. Even though it seems like I can miss a few days and nothing really has happened, but it doesn't matter. It's a habit, and I love habits. Forming good habits in your life, that's important. So be sure to do that. Okay, now, oh, excuse me, I have a text. Oh, this is my friend Mary Lou. She's so funny. She texts me all the time. She keeps me up. She keeps me up with what's going on in town and everything, because you got to keep up. I mean, that's one of the things about being happy, is keeping up with people and knowing what's going on. You know, but I'll tell you what. Oh my Lord, you wouldn't believe what's going on the other street. Anyway, I remember when I was a kid, you know, our moms were on the phone, the telephone, all the time. And I am so glad now that moms are not on their phones. I'm glad they're not on their phones, because it's not good for the children to have their moms on the phone all the time. But we don't do that. We don't talk on the phone. Like, I remember once I was at my Aunt Susie's. I was at my Aunt Susie's house, and she's talking on the phone. You know, it had that long cord, and she was cooking dinner, and she's on the phone, but she could walk all over the kitchen on that phone. And she was gossiping. Oh my gosh, it was so fun for me and Sally Ann to sit at the little dinette and hear all about everybody. But once, you know what happened once? My Aunt Susie was talking about my mom, and she did like this with the phone. It didn't matter. I could hear what she was saying. And I went home and told my mom immediately, you know, because you just shouldn't talk about people. Facebook. You've got to spend time every day on Facebook. And let me tell you why. You need to know what's going on with people. That is an important thing about, you know, having a good life. You've got to know the information around you. For instance, the other day, I looked up a girl that used to be a cheerleader in high school. She was real cute and skinny and everything. And I just hated her. I hated her. And I looked her up, and I found her. And she didn't have her thing on private. So, of course, I went through all her photos. Y'all, there was not one photo of her. It was like vacations, or it was like her house and different things like that. There was not one photo of her. So all I have to do is deduct that she's gotten fat and ugly. Otherwise, she would have pictures of herself. It was a little bit, you know, it was some good information there, because, you know, that's why she's not on there. That's why she doesn't have photos. She's fat. I know it, you know. Something else that you need to do on Facebook, you know, is you need to be looking up your friends' kids, or even your people that are not really your friends, just people you know, maybe at church or something. You need to be, you know, they can look all perfect. You need to go look up their kids' accounts, and then you can really find out what's going on. I mean, you can find out, because you have to know these things. And the reason you have to know them is so that when you go to church, you can ask for prayer requests, because that's important. But you can't ask for a prayer request without the details. And you have to give the details. Otherwise, how can people pray? You know what I mean? You need details. You need facts. Now, sometimes you go on Facebook and you look at these other kids' accounts and stuff. You kind of have to fill in the blanks and stuff. And when a family's having problems, you just go on Facebook and you check them out. And you find out why they're having problems, you know. Because you can just figure it all out. And it's just so much fun. Now, something else that you have to do is you have to go on the YouTube. Because there are people there that need your help. This is a good part of staying busy during your day, is helping people. Like today, I've got to go on this girl's account, y'all. This girl, she's real pretty, she's real young, whatever. And she has just had her first baby, and she's been doing, you know, tours of the nursery. And she's got an all-white nursery, y'all. Seriously. That's what she's got, all-white nursery. I got to tell her that that's not good for her baby. She needs to have some color in that nursery, or her baby's just going to grow up dumb, because you have to have that stimulation in the early time of your life, or you just grow up dumb. So she has this calm, white, peaceful nursery. So I got to go in there on the comments and tell her. The other thing I have to tell this woman, she, you know, her baby's just been born recently, and she's having a little bit of trouble breastfeeding. Now, I don't know, but a dummy can breastfeed, and she's just having trouble with it. And she said the other night, she was a little upset, and she said she might have to give the baby some formula. I've got to go on there and tell her that she's going to make her baby sick and make her baby dumb. It's going to have allergies. She can't be doing that formula. I mean, I could direct message her about it, but why should I do that? I need to have it in the comments because other new moms will be watching her channel and they need to know the error of their ways. I mean, this, I feel as a duty, as a mom that's already had her babies, it's my duty to tell these people, no white nurseries, no formula whatsoever. I tell people stuff because that's what I have to do. You know, I have time in my life now to tell people while their kids are at school. So anyway, that's about all I have on my list of things to do today. It's going to take all day to watch my shows, to spend time on the internet. You know, I've got the Facebook, I've got the YouTube, I've got a lot of things to do today. So I just wanted to share with you, so in case you're not sure what you need to be doing during the day, you can take, you know, some advice from me. Thank you.